Hello, my name is Marcia, and this is my book, my booklet, called Message from Marcia. Why did I write it? I've owned and run a dating service, the Affinity Exchange, for about 22 years. And the thing that I noticed, even though there was, I've had over 200 marriages come out of it, I noticed as time went by that the biggest problem is when women who are older sign up and then they have trouble finding a match. It's curious, when I checked the statistics on it, I found that for about every 100 men who sign up in that age range, say 50 to 80, there's about 160 women sign up. So right there, that's part of the problem, but that's not the only problem. I had a personal experience. When I was about 50, I met someone and we had a first date and it was great, and then we had a second date and I was really looking forward to the third date, and then he told me, no, I wasn't the item. And when I asked him why, he said, because I was too old. He was only 1 year older than me. So anyway, I came to understand what the rejection was all about. But what that did is it made me confront the fact that, being 50, maybe I wasn't going to find another mate. And I like to use the word mate because to me, mate, I define it as when you have a relationship with someone of the opposite sex. So I thought, okay, I'd better figure out how to be happy even if I don't get married again or have a mate. And so I worked out something called the Formula for Happiness, and it has really worked for me. So that was there. So what that was all about was I looked at this man and I said, he's really got his act together. That's, of course, why I was interested in him. And if he wanted a younger women would be happy to have him. But then if you turn it around, the opposite gender, and you go, okay, so here's a woman and she really has her act together. But because she is older, the men, it's a different game. And I think you know what I'm talking about. So the question is there a problem with men? Like years ago, some lady researched and wrote a whole book about it, and she ended up on the cover of Newsweek. Is there a problem with men? Generally speaking, yes, although I know many wonderful, wonderful men, so you do have to note that it's a generality. But what I came up with is that the way the society has evolved, and I'm not going to get into all the details here, but it's almost like to solve the problem with men, you need to also solve some of the problems of society. For instance, currently the economic problem. I mean, take a job away from a man and wow, not good. And so, what I'm trying to say to these women is, rather than just complain, what can we do about it? I'm always into what can we do about the problem? And so I have some ideas, and that's part of what is in my booklet. Then also what was interesting as I did my research, because I personally, since I was 15, I've accepted the doctrine of reincarnation. I mean, it just seemed right to me when I first heard about it. You have a body and live a lifetime, and you drop that body and you get another one, live another lifetime, and woo, So in that case, then for me, it's like, okay, if I have to spend the rest of this lifetime helping make society better so that men can be better, great, I'll do that. And I'm actually doing that and having a great time. So I checked the internet to see, well, what do people think about that idea of reincarnation? And, there's over 50%, I think 60% or more, maybe in the 70% of people do either accept that idea or they're open to the idea. So I bring it up. So what I'm trying to say to these ladies is, don't fixate on having to have a mate. If need be, just get out there and, boy, the whole thing is, if you want to be happy, help people. I would love to see billboards that go up that has black, and then in white letters it says depressed, ? And then underneath it says help someone. Because to me, that's what we all need to be doing. Then there's Plan A and Plan B. That's part of the booklet. What is Plan A? Well, Plan A is to continue the search to find a good mate. Then Plan B is to find a companion, because I'm very much in favor of being together with someone. Like as I go into old age, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to live alone. And so I think it's good to search for a companion of the same sex who you get along so well that, you know, if you were the opposite sex, you'd probably be thinking of getting married. But someone where you really share the same interests and your lifestyles. And in other words, you would go about looking for a companion in a very similar way that you go about looking for a mate. And then part of it would be, if you find a companion, and then would be that if suddenly a mate comes along, the companion would understand that you would then go be with the mate. And so that's part of plan B. So anyway, but the whole point is you're covered. What I'd like to do is to read a couple of responses. Virtually everyone who's read the website, read the booklet and looked at the website really, really likes it. So one lady said, that is a wonderful booklet. As a female, I feel that it is better to know what you're up against than to feel victimized, or even worse, internalize on the issue and wonder if there is something wrong with you. Thank you, Marcia. And then another lady wrote, Marcia, I am so blown out right now, I can hardly type. I just read your message from Marcia and had some major realizations on my own life and being still single at almost 62. After reading your message and confronting my own life, I am now more in present time and feel ready and willing to accept responsibility for my own happiness and get even more busy helping others. And then in big capital letters she writes, I feel like a ton of cement has just been lifted off my shoulders. Thank you so much for sharing your life. It has changed mine. So that makes me very happy. Because, you know, the whole idea is that I realized that from the vantage of being a matchmaker, I had a vantage point that no one else has in terms of seeing who and what and the details and of what's happening here and what the experiences are. So I'm really happy that I've been able to write the booklet, put up the website, and I hope it brings help to many people. Thank you.